Socrates, one of the foundational figures of Western philosophy, remains an enigmatic figure, primarily known through the accounts of later classical writers, especially his students Plato and Xenophon, and the plays of his contemporary, Aristophanes. His life and teachings have had a profound influence on Western thought, making his biography not just a tale of a man, but the story of the birth of philosophical inquiry. Born in 470 BC in Athens, Greece, Socrates was the son of Sophroniscus, a stonemason, and Phaenarete, a midwife. His early life, like much of his biography, is shrouded in mystery and subject to speculation. It's believed that he received a basic Greek education and followed his father's profession for a time before devoting himself to a life of thought and public discourse. Athens, during Socrates' lifetime, was a thriving city-state, the heart of culture, art, and democracy. Socrates became known for his distinctive method of questioning, now known as the Socratic method, which sought to stimulate critical thinking and illuminate ideas. He wandered the streets of Athens, engaging in dialogues with anyone he encountered, from politicians and poets to craftsmen and common citizens. His style was not to lecture but to question. Through his questions, he exposed contradictions in the thoughts of his conversation partners, guiding them to clearer, more refined ideas. His method was revolutionary, turning philosophy away from natural philosophy and towards human issues, ethics, and epistemology. Socrates' philosophy centered around the idea that understanding was the key to a virtuous life. His famous dictum, "Know thyself," reflects his belief that self-knowledge was essential. He challenged traditional notions of ethics and morality, arguing that virtue was the most valuable of all possessions. For Socrates, an unexamined life was not worth living. Socrates never wrote down his teachings, believing that written words could not adequately capture philosophical truths. Thus, much of what we know about him comes from his students. Plato's dialogues are the most comprehensive source of Socrates' life and philosophy. Socrates also deeply influenced Xenophon, another student and historian, who wrote about him in his works. Socrates lived through the Peloponnesian War, a long and brutal conflict between Athens and Sparta. He served as a hoplite, a heavily armed soldier, in several battles. His experiences in the war profoundly influenced his views on politics and ethics. In a time of political turmoil in Athens, Socrates' approach to questioning authority and challenging norms made him a controversial figure. He was a critic of the democratic process in Athens, not because he opposed democracy, but because he felt it was led by people who lacked wisdom and virtue. Socrates' dissenting views on politics, combined with his habit of questioning everything, eventually led to his downfall. In 399 BC, he was brought to trial on charges of corrupting the youth of Athens and impiety. His trial, as recorded by Plato, is a masterful exposition of Socrates' method and philosophy. He was found guilty and sentenced to death. True to his beliefs, Socrates faced his death with remarkable serenity, choosing to drink a cup of poison hemlock rather than flee or renounce his principles. Socrates' death marked the end of one era in Greek thought and the beginning of another. He deeply influenced his immediate followers, who continued his work, and his philosophy laid the groundwork for the works of Plato and Aristotle, which in turn have shaped Western thought for centuries. Socrates' life is a profound example of intellectual bravery and integrity. His relentless pursuit of truth and virtue, his commitment to the examined life, and his willingness to die for his beliefs have made him a perpetual symbol of the power of individual conscience and the importance of seeking knowledge. More than just a philosopher, Socrates was a man who lived his philosophy, demonstrating that the pursuit of knowledge and virtue was not an academic exercise but a way of life. His legacy is not just in the answers he provided, but in the questions he asked, questions that continue to resonate in the realm of philosophy and beyond. His life and death stand as a testament to the power of ideas and the courage of those who seek to explore them.